Here today with Chairman Mike Bost, the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Glad to be with you. Thank you.
Wanted to start off by talking to you just generally about the state of the VA. I know you're working on a lot of different bills in the committee right now, and there's a lot of plans for ways to improve VA, ways to move more benefits, more access to folks. But where I guess I want to start with, what is the need there? Where do you think VA is? Is it an institution that needs really massive reforms right now, or are we talking about just piecemeal improvements or small steps to make it more efficient for veterans?
Yeah, let me just say this. What has happened in the VA, and this is the improvements that need to be. For some reason over the years, the VA has unfortunately shifted to the fact that many people believe that the VA was created for the VA. The VA has not been created for the VA. The VA is created for the veteran, to provide services for the veteran, and to do it for the quality of care that the veteran can receive or the benefits that the veteran must receive. Unfortunately, we've had an overgrowth of bureaucracy, and whenever the arguments come up, and no one wants change, that is the argument from the other side. We do want change. We want to make it better. We want to make it better for the veteran. We want to make it so that it actually is that our money that we spend is spent wisely to provide for the veteran, not just to grow bureaucracy. So you're going to hear some of the screaming back and forth of people because they're looking for items that say, oh, no, you can't do that. That's going to hurt the veteran. No, it's not. Our intent is to make it better for the veteran. So radical change? No, the services are still going to be provided. Is there going to be change so that not only the veterans receives better benefits, receives their benefits on time, receives quality health care, and receives it when and where they want it? That's what we want to see.
So I guess the question becomes, is VA close to providing that now, or was VA close to providing that with the last administration? Because we were seeing the trust scores going up. We were saying, I think it was 92% of folks at the end of last year were saying that they had faith that VA could provide their benefits. We've heard from a lot of veterans groups, hey, we like what VA has, sure, it could be improved. But with Secretary Collins coming in, there has been more of a shift of those things aren't being provided, that the benefits aren't there. We really need to rethink things.
Let's show some things that are not being provided by law. We actually intercepted communication from the former undersecretary that basically said on the Mission Act, whenever we're talking about community care, whatever you do, don't allow them to hit the easy button. That's a problem, because Congress was very, very clear in the Mission Act, and that's why I have the Act. If you remember, we started out as a Choice Act. That wasn't implemented correctly by the bureaucrats. Then we went to the Mission Act. Well, now the Mission Act has allowed for several of our VISNs to make clear decisions to slow walk the opportunity for our veterans to receive care in the community when maybe it's a longer drive or a further distance to the VA facility. Or they drag their feet and say, oh, it's going to be a couple months, but it'd be a couple months if you went out to in the community. So these type problems we must correct and must make sure that the law is being followed. Unfortunately, quite often with the bureaucrats at VA, we've discovered that they think law is suggestion. It's not a suggestion, it's the law. Congress has made a decision to put these things in place. And it's for the betterment of the veteran that we make those choices to put them in place. I think that's what you're going to see with this administration and Undersecretary Collins, because he has made the same statement that I made, which is the VA is not created for the bureaucrats, it's created for the service of the veteran. And he also said to the employees that if you're not here and have a passion to serve our veterans, move on down the road, because we want people in, all the way down to the front worker, that has the veterans benefit at heart. The service to the veteran is what they really need to be focused on.
So is there any concern, and I do want to get back to the Access Act in just a minute, but before that, because there has been so much talk about these potential cuts at VA in terms of the staffing, even larger in the federal government, just some of the reorganization that the Trump administration has done. Do you worry that some of the messaging here is going to scare away folks who are dedicated to that mission and who do want to stay, or is it really just pushing that message out to make sure that the dead weight, the problem employees get out of there, but protecting those ones. Because right now it feels like a lot of the messaging has become attacks on federal employees rather than refining or perfecting the federal workforce.
Well, let's look at this. The people on the other side of the aisle want to use these as fear tactics. I've called them out on it over and over again, and it's the only thing they really have is to try to use fear tactics. The amount of people that have been let go at the VA is minimal. And I trust Secretary Collins that he has said that no one is going to lose their benefits. We're going to provide good quality care. What we're doing is we're realigning so that it can be done correctly, it can be done efficiently, and the best for the veteran. Now, let me tell you that there was that leaked memo, which was leaked by upper-level administrators in VA, was to bring them to the table, and they're in the early stages of any plan. The amount that was said in that memo is not the actual amount or what they're going to do. We're still it was to bring people to the table. And let me tell you why. So if you have an agency, or if you're head of one of the agencies, you're one of the upper echelon people at VA, and the boss said, hey, we want to try to see where we're going to be more efficient. How can we reduce staffing? They're going to come back and say, oh, I can reduce it by 2. But that's all I can do. By him putting the memo out, which should have stayed in-house, okay, but it did not, he has now brought them to the table to implement a plan. We don't know what that plan is. But with the plan, one thing he said about the plan is, we're not going to reduce benefits. We're going to make sure that the veteran is provided for, that their health care will be provided for them when, where, and how they need it, based on their doctor's advice through the VA. And under no circumstances are we talking privatization. Let me say that again. Under no circumstances are we talking privatization. And this has been something that the other side of the aisle has screamed for years. Oh, you want to privatize. No. But we're not here to defend the bureaucrat. We're here to defend the veteran.